Greetings, Guardians, my name is Byfear. So we've already talked a bit about the story of Asher Mir. Today we get to provide you all with an update that comes pretty quickly, considering that we only just talked about Asher a few days ago. This all comes from the new lore and story in an exotic quest that we got to drop. So let's talk about what's happening with our favorite / not so favorite scientist seeking his assistant. Now, this all takes place in the Avalon quest. Needless to say, we've had a few moments where we've seen Asher in the post-campaign of Lightfall, but the Avalon quest expands on that greatly. And despite seeing him in the partition missions and inside Lion Sparrow, you will see him a lot more, not just in a small cameo sense, but actually as the core story point of the entire mission. So, yeah, let's go ahead and give a quick update on what happened with Asher Mir and the Vex network and everything that happened inside the Pyramidion. In fact, if you want the larger update, go ahead and check the video in the top right. I did this literally a few days ago. However, it's worth noting some of the assumptions that I had from old lore are not completely correct. My original assumption was that the Vex were going to allow Asher to combine with them so that they could both accomplish mutually beneficial goals. That appears to only partly be the case. Asher talked a lot about the secrets of the Pyramidion, the secrets of the Vex, secrets that he was going to try and keep from the Black Fleet. However, it also appears that those secrets were things that he was actively trying to find. More on that in a bit. We're going to jump into the quest now. Our quest begins in the EDZ, where we can discover something unusual in the Gulch. We can find 6 floating Vex data points. With all these data points attained, a massive Vex disturbance appears in the sky above Earth. Now, there's only been a few times when we've seen something even vaguely comparable to this, and it's only been a few times that this has appeared on our homeworld. Whilst Venus and Mars and even the Moon are completely infested with the Vex in some way or another, Earth has still been relatively untouched, and a great Vex invasion of this kind would normally be a cause for immense concern. But when we enter the cave under the massive Vex incursion, it becomes clear that it isn't a chance for the Vex to begin an invasion, but a chance for us to begin our own.
Are you receiving me, Guardian? This is Mithrax. There's a great conflux of Vex energies near your location. Are you able to investigate?
At the gateway that emerged within the cave, we see a friendly blue harpy. These are known to appear whenever a foreign, passive influence is present in the network. In this instance, the harpy is beeping Morse code at us, and that means that it is more than likely Asher. In fact, it's basically confirmed that it is. Mithrax is also on comms for this mission, which makes sense considering his place as a splicer. He knows these things well. But he's pretty concerned by us going into the Vex network. Take a listen at what he first says when we actually start the mission.
The path is open to you. You did not splice your way inside. How is this possible? You enter the digitized core of the Vex network. You are in great danger. And yet, I detect a faint signal deep within. Asking, no, demanding that you explore further.
And so we descend into the Vex network, and in particular into the Avalon network node. It's worth noting again that Avalon is a name that relates to Arthurian mythos, so it should hardly be surprising that we're going after a weapon called Vexcalibur. It's clear at this point that Asher Mir is present within the network. From here on out, he actually opens the network to you and demands your presence within. The whole mission has essentially become a contest of wills. Asher Mir, as it turns out, is not completely cooperative within the Vex network and has not assimilated with them completely, and so they've been constantly trying to kill him. It's a contest of who can hide or hunt better, and now we've been thrown into the mix to complicate things even further. As the mission progresses, it becomes ever more evident that Asher is within the portion of the network as you see holograms of him. Mithrax also makes commentary that the network is at odds with itself. It should be unbelievably dangerous considering that the network opened itself to us, and this would almost certainly be a trap in most instances, but it's clear that Asher is doing all he can to push back the Vex and clear a path for us. There are even points at which we nearly get teleported into a lake of radiolaria, and Asher seems to just scoop us up and dump us somewhere else in the Avalon node. It's not clear if Asher is doing this directly, but it also seems as though he leaves us critical little bits of information that help us bypass Vex security. Security keys, such as the bits of geometry that we need to shoot, can be found all over the network, and it seems as though these keys wouldn't just be lying out there with us able to read them if it wasn't deliberately left for us by Asher. The Vex would want to allow nothing through their security unless it was of themselves or it actually had a proper access code. We finally make it further into the heart of the network, and we're faced with a Vex trap. A trap that has us set in a deletion cycle. We need to evade this cycle, which will erase us from the Vex network, by using the corrupted data that is also being deleted alongside us in this program, and then allowing the program responsible for the deletion system to continuously fail, thus allowing us to challenge it directly. This is something displayed in the actual fight itself. You pick up the data, you bank it, Gambit style, and then you fall into a protected zone that means that you are not deleted, unlike all the other data that the Vex are throwing at you. And the deletion attempt eventually means that we get to face the Vex mind responsible for this. And of course, we kill it. After pushing further through, we get to the focal point of the network and descend into the depths to face a Vex mind. A Vex mind who is familiar to some of us, and whose specific purpose is to purge the system of whatever corruption remains, be that you or Asher. It should be ironic enough that the Vex we would see is a copy, or a near copy, of the Genesis mind Brachion that has been remade to carry out this purge. And so we head on downwards into the depths of the network, and set against the digital shores of the Radiolarian Lake, we face Brachion repurposed, a replicant of the old Genesis mind that once took Asher's arm and infected it with the Vex. From here, we are able to defeat Brachion and enact Asher's revenge once more. We move to the center of the lake, where Radiolaria climbs endlessly in an impossible reverse waterfall. We see Asher drawing an object from the Vex network of incredible power, bound with his own intent and the Vex's technology. It is here that we obtain Vexcalibur. Mithrax informs us that Asher has fallen silent, and that they are being hunted through the network with Vex specifically dedicated to his destruction. Mithrax does, however, believe that Asher can be saved, and it appears that that will be our objective over the next few weeks as we uncover more about this weapon and its catalysts. It's worth noting as well that in the final screen, whenever Asher reaches out to us, he reaches out using a binary message identifier. To break down the binary in these messages, the identifier gives you the name M1R, or Mir. Before we round things out today, let's take a look at the lore tab of this new exotic glaive. Wait, glaive? Okay, well I would have expected a sword, but you know, whatever, it's a blade. Here's the lore. Vexcalibur. And they came to a lake fair and broad. Lo, said the voice, yonder is the blade that I spoke of. The man reached up to the lake with his metal arm. He then reached with his arm of flesh. He then reached with both. And he brought the lake down. Unexpected variable detected. Conversion 25.84002%. Version mismatch compensating. Integration initiated. Command override stop integration. Authority unrecognized. Oh, I think not. Authenticate consciousness. If consciousness valid, and location all nexus, then consciousness must equal Vex, ipso facto, you binary buffoon. Moving on. Set consciousness designation to Mir. No, set consciousness designation Scribe. Designation rejected. Conceptual mismatch. Compensating. Oh, for the love of you, we all, accept designation. Designation accepted. Integration, scribe, initiated. Will you stop that? Delay integration, scribe. Area undefined. Delay integration, scribe, active. Integration delayed. Excellent. Now grant access to all results. Pyramid plus darkness. Chronological sort. Current display. That's a lot of results. Ah, now we're getting somewhere. I'm not quite sure if it's correct for me to say that that last number is 2.5 times 10 to the power of 99 results. If that is true, then that's like, oh my goodness, 2.5 billion results is way under what that is. That's like, I don't know. Also, the up arrow in mathematics is, yeah, I'm not a mathematician. Don't make me answer what that number is. That's a lot of results, is all I know. So, anyway, point being, it appears that this law happens immediately after Asher integrated with the Vex, and it seems as though he went there to claim the secrets that the Vex were gathering for his own uses, as well as to stop them from falling into the hands of the Black Fleet. This would result in billions upon billions of return search results, so clearly Asher has a lot to learn, and so do we still. Who knows what Asher has learned, but the Vex have remarkable predictive capabilities, meaning that any data they can use to cross out any possibilities is going to be important. This is probably going to be more about what doesn't work than what does, and the Vex will be able to point to that by whatever means they've designated as capable of their survival. So, whatever Asher has learned, especially now after this moment where we've seemingly failed against the Witness, it's going to be even more important than ever. We need all the knowledge we can get, and this may be a key part to it in the future. But that's all from me for now. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, go ahead and leave a like. And if you have your own thoughts, leave them down below in the comments section. Of course, you can also hit subscribe and the bell next to subscribe to turn on those email notifications. But as per usual, know that your viewership, as always, is quite enough for me. And that in the meantime, my name is Bife. Borodacia ad Astra. I'll see you, Starside.